Okay, good morning. So, children, in the previous class, we already introduced that what are the various type of need of movement and what is the difference between movement and locomotion. Okay, so that much we have already done. That locomotion is movement from one place to another, shifting of body from one place to another, whereas movement is merely the change in position. Okay, so movement is shown by all the organs, whereas the locomotion is not necessarily shown by all the organs. It is actually shown by most of the animals. And we also studied that the need of the locomotion, that why do organs move from one place to another. So there is a need of movement in order to search food, in order to save themselves from the adverse conditions or from the predators, and in order to search for their mate. So three reasons we already discussed in the previous class. Today we are going to study the type of movement, that is how the movement is carried over in the body. So movement is done by the three different ways. That first is the amoeboid movement. Amoeboid movement is by formation of the pseudopodia. As you know, pseudopodia is found in amoeba. It is also found in entamoeba. In our body also, pseudopodial movement or amoeboid movements are present in WBCs. So WBC has got their own pseudopodia with the help of which they can move. Okay, so that is amoeboid movement. Then the ciliary movement. Ciliary movement, as in case of paramecium, you see, there are many other organs which show ciliary movement. And in our body also ciliary movement is present, where the cilia are present in the nasal tract and the cilia are present in the nephron, where the cilia keep moving and moving the dust particles or movement of the fluid particles, etc. in the nephron. So that is done by them. And the third one is muscular movement. Okay, so these are the three different type of movements which we can notice in our body, and these are the three kind of movement which are found in entire living beings. Okay, that is in case of animals, because we are studying about the animals, not about the plants. Plants we have studied the movement were of two different types, that is the turgor movement and nastic movement. Okay, and that turgor and nastic was saying, sorry, turgor tropic movement and turgor movement, or tropic movement and nastic movement. Okay, so that was different in case of plants, but we are studying about the animals. So in animals there are three type of movement are found, that is amoeboid movement, which are because of the pseudopodia formation. As we know that all the amoeba and entamoeba and many other such organs are forming pseudopodia, with the help of which they move in a required direction. In our body, the pseudopodial movement or amoeboid movement are found in the WBCs. Ciliary movement are shown by the paramecia or such type of organisms, ciliates in protista. And in our body, it is found in nasal tract and in the what you call nephron, the neck of the nephron. And muscular movement are because of the muscles, and the muscular movements are more stronger type of movement. Their contraction is so strong and so vigorous that they help to move the body to a greater extent or with a greater force. And you know that the human beings and other animals, the elephant and all, you see that how powerful they are, how strong they are. Human being also, weightlifter you might have seen, which are lifting up to the 200 kg to 30 kg to 40 kg of weight. Okay, and you might have seen some of the labor class people who are carrying that 100 kg sugar bag on their back. So this much of weight, this much of force, all these are made possible with the help of muscles. Okay, and similarly, when you see any predator like lion or tiger or a panther who is having a struggle with the animal like buffalo, wild buffalo. So wild buffalo itself is very strong, and yet they are able to fight and tear that off. That means how strong the muscles may be. So muscular movement are much stronger and much rapid, and that is having a lot of advantages over these type of movement. Okay, so that is why in our body, and if we talk about our body, we will find that somewhere about 40 to 50% of our body is only made up of muscles. 40 to 50% of body is only made up of muscle. Rest is like dry weight. Right? If you eliminate water, or even if you keep water, that water is found in the muscles even. Okay, so that is the thing. And whenever the rest of the weight that is actually consist of bones and other parts of the other things. Okay, so the muscles, we already studied about the muscles in class 9, that is muscles are of 3 types. The smooth muscles, the striated muscles, and the cardiac muscles. Let us have an overview, which we already studied in class 9. So let us see how these 3 types of muscles are different from one another. And then we will study the structure of the muscles and muscular contraction. 3 types of muscles: striated muscles, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscles. Where will you find them? Location. Striated muscles are found all along the skeleton. Okay, attached to the skeleton. So all our fingers, hands, and legs, and other parts, they are made move with the help of skeletal muscles. Smooth muscles are found in all the visceral organs. Found in the visceral organs. Like in the intestine, stomach, and the other digestive tract, as well as in the diaphragm and other parts of the body, which are not attached to the bones, but they are found in the visceral organ, and it is found only and only in heart. Second thing, striations, most clearly visible, not visible, and again here clearly, no, faintly कर देते हैं इसको. Visible. Okay, branching, unbranched, unbranched, and these one are showing branching. Nucleus, multinucleated, uninucleated, and these are also uninucleated. Rate of working or working capacity: work vigorously, but for short duration. Here, work slowly, but for longer duration. Work continuously throughout life, at various rates. Sometimes hard work vigorously, sometimes hard work at a slower pace. Okay, So that is another thing. Then let us see that ये हो गया. Nature. So you will find that striated muscles are voluntary muscles. That is, they can work as per our need, as per our command. As and when we want, we can ask them to work, and as and when we want they should stop working, they will stop working. These are not controlled by our will, not controlled by our will, and they are also involuntary, not controlled by our will. So I'll write involuntary only. Okay, so these are the differences. These are the differences in the three kind of muscles. So you can see that which part of the body should have what kind of muscles because of the depending on the kind of their function. So you cannot ask the heart to stop working or get tired and wait for some time. Whereas the digestive system will have to work only for certain hours, and once the digestion is over, that they stop working, or the rate of working that will reduce drastically. Whereas when we have to run, when we have to do any activity as per our need, we can vigorously use them, but for a shorter duration. How long a person can work, run? He will run at the most for, if he is running with a greater speed or a good speed, he can run at the most for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, not more than that. So even those people who are running with them in the marathon and all, they are using these muscles, but at a very slow pace. Okay, and in other cases where the activities are stronger, that is, a very rapid activities are required, they get tired in the shorter duration, and that is why you see those animals who have to chase for their food and all, they run, but they get tired after some time and then stop. Okay, but heart cannot stop. Heart will continuously work. Okay. So these are the three kinds of muscles, and they have got the different areas of working. Okay, tongue is the only muscle which is not attached to any bone, but it is striated, and it is voluntary muscles which we can move according to our will. हम जैसा चाहें वैसे उससे काम करा सकते हैं, है ना? विचित्र बात. Okay, so these are the various kinds of muscles we have studied. Now structure of muscles we will study. Let's talk about the structure of muscles, how the muscles are found. Muscles are actually made up of fibers, contractile fibers, and the contractile fibers are again made up of two type of proteins, the actin protein and myosin proteins, which are found arranged in a alternate fashion, and it is their arrangement that only gives the striations on all, which we'll study little later. Before that, we'll study the arrangement of the muscles. Let me share the book, and you can see this diagram. You can see this diagram. कहाँ से आए? चलो जाओ. Okay, so you can see this diagram here. You can see the muscle fiber. Each one of these units is called muscle fiber. Okay, so here you can see so many pink units are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All these are actually muscle fiber. These are the blood vessels, or sorry, nerve fibers. Okay, and the blood vessels are running over the muscle fibers. Okay, so three things will be there in the muscles. In the muscles, there will be muscle fibers, there will be blood vessels, that is arteries and veins. Arteries are shown in the red color and the veins are shown in the blue color. And then there will be nerves. Nerves will be bringing the messages. So when to contract and when to relax and how to work and all. Okay, so that is the thing. Now all these muscle, one single muscle cannot work to perform any capable function, because that will be a very weak function. So large number of muscles come together and they form a bundle, and the bundle of the muscle is known as fascicle. And even so many large number of fascicles come together and it forms fascia. So you can see here fascia. Okay, so this is the structure.
4 Mbps की स्पीड आ रही है मेरे पे अभी फोन में.
Who is that?
बहुत भयंकर स्पीड है
Hello?
नेट की.
Wait. Please don't talk. Okay. So have you understood that what are the arrangement of the muscles? Okay. Now today I forgot to put the mobile. Let me put. So these are the arrangement. Now let us see how the fibers themselves are arranged. That is the ultrastructure of the muscles. So little this side, if you go, the actin and myosin fibers, if you see under the microscope, electron microscope, you will find them arranged like this. And these kinds of arrangement are because of the two type of fibers which are found there. This is a Z line and this is another Z line, and Z line holds actin fibers. So these are the actin fibers, and the actin fibers are thin fibers. Actin fibers are thin fibers. Are they equal in size? No. So these are the actin fiber and this is Z line. Okay, now there are myosin fibers found between the actin fiber. They are thick fibers. Okay. So where actin and myosin are overlapping, that is the darkest zone. In this you can see some dark zone. If you see this particular dark line, this is Z line, and these white areas, they are called A band. Okay, and then these are actually, see, you can see the I band is here around the Z line, and then A band from here to here. A stand for anisogamy or I stand for isomeric. Okay, so that is iso stand for the one kind. That is, these are only one kind of fiber here. Only actin fibers are found here. So this is called I band. Now here to here, actin and myosin are overlapping. Actin and myosin are overlapping. So a zone from this place to this place is called A band. Again, you will find this region where only myosin are there. This is called H. Okay, so these are H band. No, so you can see here H zone it is written. And from one Z line to another Z line, this is one muscle fiber that is called sarcomere. Okay, MERE. So this is what the arrangement of actin and myosin, which is giving the striated view. Okay, so I think it is clear to you what how the actin and myosin fibers are arranged. Z line is actually holding the actin fiber together. Now I made them straight line and they have made them in alternate fashion. It hardly matters. Okay, and the actin fibers are thin, whereas the myosin fiber are thick. Myosin fibers are arranged between the actin fibers. So these are the places of overlapping, and when it is overlapping, they become anisomeric. That is, it is having more than one type. They are not uniform. They are uniform. They are having only one kind of fibers. So they are called I band. So this is I band. This is I band. From here to here, this is A band, and it is the only heavy zone is there. That is only myosin is there. So it is called H zone. So this is the ultrastructure of a striated muscles. Okay, other muscles are also more or less of same type, but the striations are not very much clear in case of smooth muscles. Okay, cardiac muscles, it is still there. So this is what the structure is, and in one muscle fiber, there are so many this thing sarcomeres there. Okay, so many sarcomeres will constitute together one muscle. So if you see this diagram, this, yeah. So in this diagram, you can see this is one Z line, another Z line, another Z line. So three Z lines are there. And the actin and myosin are overlapping here. When the muscles will contract, the region of overlapping will all the more increase. Further, if it contracts, the region of overlapping is all the more increase. So H zone is more here, it is less here, it is least here. Okay, so when the muscle contract, actually the myosin inserts in the actin more, or rather the Z lines come closer and the overlapping becomes all the more greater, and the Z line will shrink, A band will increase. Okay, so this is what the structure of muscle fiber. So that with that we are completed the structure of all the this thing muscle. Okay, so these two diagrams you have to learn, you have to remember, and these will definitely come in exam. Definitely means definitely, not necessarily. Okay, now the actin and myosin fiber, how they are, what they look like. So actin fiber, now let us see here what is written. The structure of contractile protein. Contractile proteins are those proteins which have an ability to shrink. They have the ability to contract. They have an ability of elasticity, so they can shorten. Okay, remember, muscle can only shorten from their normal position. They cannot expand. Muscles cannot expand. Muscle can only be shortened from their original position. Between these Z line, they can come closer. It cannot go beyond the Z line. Okay, so there will be a maximum limit. If you are finding that the muscles are expanding, that means you are making a mistake. That Z line is not there in their original position. So now let us see that each actin filament, which are actin, this thin one, each actin filament is made up of two F filamentous actin. F1. These F filamentous actin are globular protein. Okay, let us see that is which are helically woven with each other. If you look at the diagram, yeah, these green color the this thing filaments which are woven on one another helically, spirally, which are just like coiling on one another. These are F actin. Here you can see F actin. Okay, so this is F actin, which are two in number, and they are helically interwoven. Okay, so two filament or another protein. Now one are another protein that is called tropomyosin. Tropomyosins are shown here in the brown color. You can see they are also helically arranged over the F actin. So there is a fixed interval, okay, where they are, that is the coiling is uniform in both four type of fiber, four fiber, two type of fibers, two of each, that is F actin, two fibers, and the two tropomyosin. They all are arranged in such a way that they are completing one complete helix in equal distance. Okay, now you can see here the pink flowery structure. These are called troponin. Now what are troponin? Troponin are the sites where actin will bind to myosin. Troponin are the site where actin binds to myosin. Now you can see here the two filamentous, another protein that is tropomyosin, also run along the F actin throughout the length. A complex protein troponin is distributed at regular interval in the tropomyosin, and in the resting state, a subunit of tropomyosin masks the active binding site of myosin and actin filament. So they are got, when the muscle is not contracting, then they are masked with, now here the fibers are there, here also tropomyosin are there, troponin are there, here also troponin are there. These are not used, so they will be masked by calcium ion. And these are the places where actin and myosin are forming a bond. ठीक है, now ultra structure देखते हैं myosin का. ठीक है. मायोसिन कैसे दिखता है? जस्ट नीचे वाला डायग्राम, दैट इज ऑफ द मायोसिन. So in the myosin you can see there are two zones, clearly distinct zone are there from ear to ear. now मैं इसको कलर करके दिखा देता हूँ. दिस मच जोन जो है वो हैवी मैरोमाइसिन जोन है, एंड यहाँ से यहाँ तक लाइट मैरोमाइसिन जोन. ठीक है. HMM एंड LMM. ठीक है. तो ये they are mentioned like this. So each myosin filament is also a polymerized protein. Many monomeric protein called meromycin constitute one thick filament. They are also called, you can see here, and they are made up of meromycin. The two important part of the globular head and a short arm. तो ये जो head है, ये वाला portion, this one, this is a head and this is tail. Okay, so head has got, you can see two zones are there, distinct zone. क्या है? एक actin binding site where it will form bond with troponin of actin filament, and ATP binding site where ATP molecule will come and combine and it will give it energy. So energy का source actin binding site, sorry, ATP binding site, and the contraction, the bond between the actin and myosin, the actin will be like, these are the actin, and these are myosin. So myosin will be like this, because they got a head and the tail, and actin are straight, so they will be like contracting and bringing them closer, or relaxing and bringing them away. Okay, so this is their working. Okay, so these are the structure. Yeah, in this chapter you have got a lot of diagrams to learn. Okay, all these diagrams you will be practicing, and with this I have already completed of today's portion. Now tomorrow we will study the mechanism of muscle contraction, because mechanism itself is a very long part which I cannot finish in one lecture. No. Okay, so that's all for today, and you can ask your problem. कभी तो पूछते ही नहीं है. It seems you never